What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Beacon here, and welcome to a channel update slash me rambling slash little bit of something about the coronavirus, because that's what's on everybody's mind right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. My update, the channel update. So obviously my upload schedule isn't the most consistent thing on the face of the planet. However, that being said, I do want to let you guys know ahead of time. Part of it is me being lazy, but the other part of it is because of the fact that due to the fact that I work in a healthcare facility, I am a healthcare professional. I am actually working double, if not triple time sometimes, in order to, assist with the ongoing crisis that is the coronavirus. So basically what I'm saying is that, like, look, my upload schedule that's so inconsistent, it probably might get a little bit more inconsistent. I'll be honest. This is my first day off in over 2 weeks, and even then, it's not really a day off because I was working overnight as well. So I actually just woke up, believe it or not. So I'm literally just chilling for the day. There's nothing else for me to do. That being said, because I'm not going to be recording videos as often, I mean, if I upload anything, it might actually be more updates regarding Beacon of Gaia, which, if you recall correctly, is the video game that I am actually developing. So literally, as soon as I'm done recording this, and even then I'm not even recording, I'm just using some old ass highlight reels from my PS4 hard drive, I'm going to be in front of my computer pretty much for the rest of the day, trying to work on that, hopefully to keep myself from like getting too out of the habit of actually working on something that I actually want to see done. So it's not like I'm not doing anything, it's just I won't be able to really focus on gameplays for the time being. I mean, this coronavirus thing is no joke. People are really either terrified or not taking it seriously enough. But that's pretty much it for the channel update. That's really not why I wanted to sit down and record today. I just wanted to get that out of the way ahead of time, because the main thing I wanted to talk about was the coronavirus. So, I'll be perfectly honest, and I'm going to admit this straight up. I don't want to say I underestimated coronavirus, but I don't think I was initially taking it as seriously enough as the situation actually warranted. As time went on and new information became available, I realized that this is nothing short of a worldwide crisis. So I do want to go ahead and everything I'm about to say, I'm saying not as a healthcare professional. This is something, in fact, yeah, let me get this out of the way right now for legal purposes. So everything that I am going to say in this video regarding coronavirus, while it is based on facts laid out by the CDC, by all healthcare professionals, by anyone that's actively been working on coronavirus, this is all based on independent research using facts that I have looked up that were available to me at the time, which was yesterday. That being said, I do not speak for the CDC. I do not speak for the healthcare facility in which I work. I do not speak for any healthcare professionals that are actively combating coronavirus. Everything I'm saying is simply opinions based on the facts that I have read. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough covering my ass for now. So, for those of you that have been living under a rock, coronavirus is... I can't believe I'm actually going to have to explain this, because there's going to be some people that don't actually know what's going on. Coronavirus is literally a worldwide pandemic. It is, initially I thought it was a less powerful version of the flu, but it turns out that is not the case. I was wrong when I initially thought that. I'm not even entirely sure what it is. However, I do know that it is highly contagious and that it can really put people who are at risk with things like respiratory issues, the elderly, those with a compromised immune system. It could put them in a really bad way. And because it is so contagious, it is so important that we make sure that we contain it as best we can. Now, the scary part of it is how quickly it spreads. It originated, if I recall correctly, in China. I am not not saying that it is China's fault or anything. So let's nip that in the bud right now. Do not blame China, because everybody got it at this point. So it originated in China, but it traveled worldwide simply because of the society we live in. Everything is so connected. People have been traveling internationally, and unfortunately, the thing about coronavirus is that the symptoms can be dormant. You don't even know you have it until like maybe a week after the fact. So think of it this way: you could be sick, you could have coronavirus, but you don't know it. So you're going about living your normal life. You are around multiple people, some of whom might be elderly, some of whom might be, compromised as far as their health is concerned. And come to find out a week later, oh, I got it. And then you have to think to yourself, okay, now I have it. All those people I've been in contact with for the past week, there is a strong possibility that they have it. And that is something that's terrifying, because there are a lot of places, especially in the States, that cannot even test it or treat for it. We are still actively working on trying to get some type of lid to put over this Pandora's box. Now, keeping all that in mind, our government has placed a lot of, preventative / containment measures in places. For those of you that do not live in the States, pretty much half of the country is on lockdown right now, if not more. Especially my area, I live outside of Philadelphia, and as far as coronavirus is concerned here in Pennsylvania, this area is the epicenter for all coronavirus cases, both confirmed and under investigation. So, to that effect, the government has shut down a lot of non-essential jobs. Pretty much the only ones that are working right now are healthcare, supermarkets, shipping and receiving. I believe auto mechanics are working as well. Public transportation. It's not nearly as bad as it initially sounds, but it's also a lot worse than you might initially think when you say, oh, okay, well, the non-essentials are closed. Well, the non-essentials are where a lot of people are working. A lot of people are not working right now, and they're not being able to pay their bills simply because there's no way to pay them. They're not working, and even though the government is working on sending out unemployment packages, we're still at the point where people are still wondering what they're going to do as far as like getting, even if it's not the bills, people are concerned about like their groceries and everything, which, if you've heard, grocery markets are kind of in a bad way right now. So basically, long story short, this is a legitimate crisis at this point. There's no getting around it. So, however, that being said, I do want to point out a few tips and tricks that, again, I'm not speaking on this as a healthcare professional. I am speaking on this as a YouTuber who happens to work in healthcare, who just so happens to have his own opinion on these things. So, the first thing, and I'm sure everyone's said this multiple times, don't panic. Panicking is the worst thing that you can do in this type of situation. Panicking will only lead to other people panicking. Other people panicking will only lead to more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not tragedy. I mean, nobody's dying because of like martial law yet or anything, but you have to think about it. It could potentially get to that point if we are not careful. So don't panic, and tell your friends, tell your family, don't panic. We have preventative measures in place. We have a way to actually, come back from this. That being said, everyone has to do their part. Second of all, as regarding the shutdowns, look, I get it. Staying inside when you're being told to sucks. I mean, yes, there are a lot of us that prefer to spend their time at home, but occasionally we do like going out and just, doing something. Like, if it even something as simple as going to the store, picking up a few things for the house, or if you just like, hey, okay, I'm gonna run to XYZ's house or whatever, stuff like that. You can't do that. even if you're perfectly healthy, please still don't do that, because coronavirus is, like I said, it's highly contagious. That is its main danger. So, considering keeping all this in mind, yes, we do have to stay inside, because even as a healthy person, if we still, I'll put it in perspective. As far as I'm concerned, aside from like seasonal allergies, I am a perfectly healthy 28-year-old man. What that means is that I am not in the at-risk category for anyone. That I am not at risk to be terribly compromised by coronavirus on the incredibly off chance that I will be infected. And I say the incredibly off chance because I am not going out unless I have to. That being said, healthy people like me still have a duty to make sure that we are as non-infectious to at-risk people as humanly possible. Just because we're not sick doesn't mean other people can't get sick. You have to remember, people like the elderly, people like I said, elderly, the people with compromised immune systems. Look, you have to think about it. Yes, you might say to yourself, "Oh, well, that's not our problem." Well, okay, it might be your grandmother's fault. It might be your grandmother's problem. It might be your grandfather's problem. That cousin of yours that got asthma, it's going to be their problem. Stuff like that. You have to think about this. You have to realize that no, this isn't just a you thing. You have to really band together. And as silly as that sounds, it's true. You have to make sure that you're following the guidelines put in place, because they are there to protect more than just yourself. Now, next up, as far as all the panic buying goes at the supermarkets and everything, especially in the States, because I'm pretty sure other countries don't actually have this problem. We're the only ones that act like toilet paper is suddenly gold. Y'all gotta stop that shit right now. Panic buying is not helping anything. The only thing you are doing is making it difficult for people who actually need things to get what they need. That is nothing short of absurd, and the fact that these states are the only ones that are having this problem is actually annoying. Like, I feel ridiculous just thinking about it, because it's not actually something that it's not something that should have actually been a problem. Because think about it, the stores aren't really actually closing right now, simply because people do need to eat. So what I'm trying to get across to everybody is that, like, panic buying, that's ridiculous, especially the toilet paper. The stores are going to stay open regardless until we hear otherwise. And at that point, if they did close, I would at least, amend my statements and say, okay, I was wrong, maybe they are going to close. But for the most part, no, they're not going to. People still need to eat. The government realizes this, and if they have to regulate things just because y'all don't know if they have to regulate how we go shopping just because y'all don't know how to act, I'm gonna be pissed. So y'all cut that shit out. It makes no sense. That being said, panic buying, that needs to stop. I mean, yeah, get what you need, obviously. I mean, if you feel like you have to go into self-quarantine, or if you're at risk for going to self-quarantine, yeah, pick up what you need, but don't overstock. The stores are gonna restock regardless. As long as shipping and receiving exists, yeah, they're gonna get stuff regardless. There's no getting around that. But yeah, okay, so we went over self-quarantine, we went over to panic buying, and at this point, just some really basic hygiene tips, because at the end of the day, you can prevent yourself from getting coronavirus and infecting other people with coronavirus by basic hygiene. This means showering, no large gatherings of over 10 people. Just wash your hands relatively often. Soap and water, 20 seconds, hot water. These are things we've known since we were children. It's not something that should actually really need to be explained, but there are a lot of funky people out there that decide they don't want to do that, which is nothing short of appalling. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. If they don't want to learn the easy way, they gonna learn the hard way. That's all there is to it. But yeah, I'm running out of stuff to talk about, but I still have a few minutes to kind of eat up. Oh, now I remember. So, okay, regarding coronavirus and the whole job shutdown thing and everything. So, there are a lot of people who, like I said, are currently not working. They're still employed. It's just their jobs are shut down because they are deemed non-essential. So thankfully the government is putting something in place where they'll literally pull an Andrew Yang and send out stimulus checks to every tax-paying American. Now, again, I don't know how this is going to work in other countries, but at least as far as America goes, it does seem like it's going through. There are like one or two people that I'm not going to vote for, whose names I will not mention, that are trying to block it, and it's not who we actually think who's trying to block it. It's the exact opposite of the people who I thought was going to try and block it. But yeah, that being said, those people don't have my vote, but this will more than likely go through. I'm hoping that the stimulus checks will at least calm people down long enough to make something, long enough to just give us some time to like kind of figure out what we're really going to do in the long term. I mean, it's a band-aid situation. Yes, stimulus checks are great, but unless they're happening on a monthly basis, it's not going to last very long. And yes, we do have unemployment at this point. Like I said, I'm not going to be out of work anytime soon. However, my mother's job actually just shut down as of I think today might actually be her last day working there for a little while. So she's going to have to go on unemployment. But yes, so many people are going to have to go on unemployment. That being said, the government is actively, loosening the reins on like who can qualify for it, simply because it's a national crisis. I will say one thing about coronavirus: it literally took an entire worldwide pandemic for the government to stop acting like a spoiled child that can't share their toys with anybody. It literally took a worldwide pandemic for them to act right and actually do what's best for the American people. But this isn't meant to be a political video. I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a few updates on a few things and share my thoughts as well. But that'll be it for me. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And hey, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.